Hey everybody, it's Erin Reed from Erin Reed Makes, and welcome back to Card Making Wednesdays. Today I have a super cute little card that is perfect for an interactive card slash, sorry about that, I keep forgetting to turn my clock off. It's perfect as an interactive card. It's an easel card and it has a little lift the flap. So without further ado, let's jump in. So hello, everybody who has gotten on. I see Danielle, Crystal, and Jen. Welcome, welcome. So this is the super cute little card. Look how adorable this is. So first we have this little lift the flap, and it says, "Hey, buddy, how you doing?" And then it's a little easel card. So not only as like pretend you're on a flat surface. I love little easel cards because it's got a really big wow factor. Look at that. Look how adorable. And it looks like the car is kind of traveling in space, like traveling down the road, like doot, doot. And then you open it up and it has a little sentiment on the inside. So it's just this, it's really quite simple. To make easel cards are really, really easy. So let's start with that. Let me show you how easy it is to assemble an easel card. That's really kind of a mouthful, right? So easel cards are super, super simple, and they're really fun to make because they have kind of this really cool little pop-up. So I'm going to leave it popped up. Now I could pop it up to that point, or I could pop it up to that point. I left it kind of open to interpretation to whatever part you would want to have. So it's just like boop or boop. Let's do that one so you guys can really see. So the first thing is you're going to start with your A2 size card. Standard size card, fold this in half. And then this is where you can kind of play with it. I am choosing to do my easel part. So you take the top, whatever the top is, right? And you're going to fold this in half. That's as hard as this gets. Now, if you wanted to fold it in a lesser dimension, let's say you wanted to fold it so that there was it wasn't purely in half, you could do that. You could fold it so that it would hit here. So you'd have a smaller part at the bottom for the easel. So this size that you did for the bottom section, you can play around with that. You don't have to have it be a full half, but you know, for just ease, we're going to go with half. So that's the hard part. All right, so let's build the inside. Now I'm using papers, and I've already got most of my pieces already all done. So here's what the inside's going to look like. I changed around and did some different papers, and I'm using all the Dare to Be Artsy ice cream social papers. They're super cute. So this is the one side that we were using, and then here's the other fun side. And this is another pattern, and this is one of those little bottom strips, like this one right here. It came from another one, and it felt like it just really, really, really fit. So as always, links are down below. We're going to place our base cards. So here's the little banners that we're going to be playing with on the front. So let's place the base down first. So this is how you would build the card, right? And then I want to have a banner. Now, this is the difference between these two cards. For this card, when I built this banner, I only went to the 5 1/4. So that's what the width of the card is 5 1/2. The mat I just stuck on is 5 1/4. For this card, I decided I wanted my little part that the easel sits on to be the full length of the card. So I didn't want to have it cut short. It works both ways. It doesn't matter. And so therefore the little ice cream cones that I have sitting down here, that came from the Dare to Be Artsy cards, looks like that. So it's not Stamps of Life. I will explain. We're going to get to the ice cream truck in a minute. They're actually from Maker's Movement. So it's their new Maker's Movement. I'm actually blending a couple of different companies together. So I know all of you, I mean, I usually stick to kind of like mostly one company per video, but I have a lot of different things that go together. So why not mix them up? So I just laid that right there. I'm going to put my sentiment kind of right in the middle. And then this is where the easel sits. So you can see this one. There we go. So you can either have it sit here or here. All right, now we're going to build the front of the card. I have two different sections, and the first section I have is going to go up here. It says banners. It's the back side of the other paper. This has a little bit of adhesive on here because I stuck the adhesive. So we're just building everything from the card, and then from that, you guys can put whatever elements you want on the front. I chose to do this really cute ice cream truck, but this truck doesn't have to be just ice cream. I'm going to show you all the versatility of that truck in a minute. All right, so got my banners. Then I just picked out a couple of different colors of cardstock. These are from Close to My Heart and a little from my stash, kind of a hodgepodge of a few different ones. And I wanted to have the look of a road. So what I did is these are these new dies from Maker's Movement. These are called Wacky Waves, but it also looks like rolling hills, kind of like a rolling. So you can see really big waves. You know, there's different grades of these waves and they're all stitched. So I took this guy right here. As you can see, it fits right in there, right? And it's the opposite of the one that's actually on this card. So only one side gets stitched, but I was like, you know what? If I'm picking the right length, I'm going to cut once. One's not going to be stitched and one is stitched. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal. And I only had to cut one time with the die. So we're going to place this guy on here. Using my little Xyron little tape runner here, and then put that at the bottom. So then it looks like the truck is traveling down the road. See, little truck traveling down the road. It makes your own uniqueness. Yeah, when you don't just use all one company for everything and you kind of mix and match. And as I was putting this truck together, I was going, oh my gosh, it's an ice cream truck. And I'm like, I remember I have these papers, and it's actually called Ice Cream Social from, I mean, it's from Dare to Be Artsy. Ice Cream Social. I'm like, how perfect would these two pieces be together? And there's a whole set of stamps and dies that go with Dare to Be Artsy that fit with this motif. As you can tell, there's like little ice cream cones and stuff. But I was like, but I can totally mix and match these. All right, so there is the base of our card. So from here, and you wouldn't have to do the road, you can pick 2 different elements, whatever background. You just need to have a little strip for your easel to sit on. This is when you can do whatever sentiment, whatever object. You could do a large square with a stamp in the middle, or you can do a fun little element like we're doing. All right, so what I have done, and I've already pre-cut this. So here is our little truck. All right, so I'm going to pop it out, and I'm going to show you the elements that come with it. Oops. A little washi tape there to the... All right, so I decided I'd use the same colors. I was debating if I wanted to mix and match the different colors of my truck, and I'm like, no. And on the back side, you can actually tell it's got a little ice cream truck from the Dare to Be Artsy papers. This is our papers too, but I like the stripes. So what I don't like, and if you see, I fixed it. So we're going to do that. One of the first things we're going to do is I'm going to lift this up and really make sure that this has got a nice good fold here. So I'm going to go back and forth. Oops, I didn't even get on the right section. So I placed the ice cream truck on a sheet of paper, just so you see. Place the ice cream truck on a sheet of paper, and then it comes to this little window. The top part of this window here, and these are dies from Maker's Movement, doesn't have a cut edge. It just has a scoring edge. So you place that where you want to have your little window that lifts up, stick it all down, run it through, which is what I did. I just didn't do that with you today because, you know, you guys know how things die cut. So now I'm going through and I'm folding along the score line, which I didn't do a very good job. There it is. I didn't catch it at first. So I'm folding along that score line. Here we go. And I'm going to go back the other way too, just to make sure it's got a nice good crease. And if you want to get out your bone folder, there, it's because I did that stupid one. I'm actually going to get out, I love this little Maker's Forte bone folder. It's great. I can use it for scoring on this end, which is perfect. And I use it with my, my Fiskars paper trimmer, but I also use it for getting really good lines like I have here. So now I'm going to go back the other way, because I did a oopsie fold. There we go. Now, if you've got double-sided paper that is really cute and you don't mind what the backside is, this one, it looks funny. I don't like it. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to rerun just this piece, and I'm going to line it up against the edge here. So just that piece right there, and we're just going to die cut just that little piece. So we're going to fit it in to the inside of the little flap, the window. Again, if you pick double-sided papers that match great, you can skip this step. But what if you didn't, like I did? There is a way to solve that problem. So now I've got this little piece, and it's not a perfect cut on the edge, which is fine. So I'm going to put this back on my magnetic sheet here. And I am going to fit this so it fits right in here. Oops, I didn't do a very good job die cutting that. There we go. And if I see a little edge, so I'm going to make that a little bit straighter just with a pair of scissors. Just go a little straight. I don't want to go too close to the fold. Otherwise, this is going to have a hard time folding down. So it's just right there. If I see a little bit of something, I'm okay with that. So it just goes like that. But before I go any further, I want to stamp that. And I forgot I put all my stamp stuff away. So this is the really, really cute stamp set that I got. Oops. Also from Maker's Movement. So this is called Food Truck. So use your imagination on all the different food trucks that you can do. So we've got, here's the little guy, which I've already colored and filled in for us. So here's a little guy. And then you get a whole bunch of the ones. So I'm going to use the order up. And I'm going to stamp that before we stick it on the upside window. But for this one, I didn't. I forgot to stamp it before I did the upside window. So what I did is I went like this, laid it down here, flipped my stamp upside down, and then stamped. So it works either way. See that little guy right there? Ah, flying stamps in my house. So I got to think about how this lays. This is going to fit just like this. So I want to have it like there, right? Before I get too far. There we go. And then, wow, that had a really good accent there. Order up. Boom. So that's a cute little way that you can do something. You could also do, here, sending you birthdays. I mean, I could put a sentiment in that too. I also have taco bat, a good job, well done. So you could do a taco truck. You could do an ice cream truck. There's so many fun ways you could do this truck. So now I'm going to put my adhesive on here and stick this guy down. And now it looks just a little bit more clean. Not so mishmash with a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay, so now we got to start building up our truck. So if you see the rest of the truck here, I've got wheels, we've got a bottom base, and I already die cut all that out using a few different colors. So here they are, and I put them all through my Xyron sticker maker and then tear that off. Just makes life so much easier when I have all this stuff done. And then you're going to peel off the front, just like that. And then we're going to start putting our tires on. So here's tire number 1. Here's tire number 2. And I just found like scraps of cardstock that I had in my stash. Oh, I forgot. I did this last time too. There's this little piece, which you don't have to do. It just kind of finishes the bottom of the truck. It's like that little railing that you have on the bottoms of trucks. And so there it goes. Just a little something. Now I'll put my tires on. It just, you know, all those little elements. And so here is the die. Here's the complete set of die. So here is the stick piece. This is the tire. This is the little hubcaps that go on the tire. It kind of makes the tires look a little bit more complete, for lack of a better term. So there they go. So you can see how they're all, oops, I'm off camera. So here we go. You can see all the little pieces that are complete. This was the main truck. And then I'm choosing to do an ice cream. Right? So I have an ice cream truck going on here. So I'm going to close this so I don't impede. I got to get my little ice cream over here. And so here you can see the ice cream cone, right? But you can also make a donut truck. You can do, hello, everybody. We got Jen and Crystal and Vay and Amy. Hello, hello. We also can make a taco truck. So this is to make a taco and all the fillings inside of your taco. Here is a sprinkle. So you've got lots of little pieces within here that you can change up your truck to be for tacos, for donuts, or for ice cream. So you can have a ton of fun with that. All right. Or if you want to think of any other kind of cute, fun thing that you would want to do. So this would be the topping on that for the donut. This would be the frosting. This looks like it would be for like a snow cone maker. So you could turn this into a snow cone as well. So instead of ice cream, you could put this piece on top of that and it would look like kind of like a snow cone. So that looks like a little snow cone maker that you would have. So many options. And if you got the stamp set, they have the little cutie kawaii face, which I might do that on here. Maybe I'll do that. Hang on, before I get too far. Let's add the cutie kawaii face to our little ice cream because I already got it. It's right here. Make it adorable. I mean, it's a super little fast stamp to stick on there. So they are separate. They're from Maker's Movement. And as always, all my stamps are down. All the links for what we're doing are down in the information section. So check that out. All right, so we're going to give this guy a little cutie kawaii face. Boop, there he is. Cute little one. I'll leave one with it and one without it. Put him back on here. Now I got to make sure that I don't impede our movement. And this is where I had a hard time. I have to go further over with my cone. I also saw, this was another cute one I saw somebody do, is they took their, whoops, flying over. They took their cone and they lined it up right here. And then they put this piece here. And so as you lift it up, the top of the cone went up. And so it like went like this. I thought that was just adorable. So many fun ways you can play around with that. All right, so let's stick this guy right here, kind of hiding in the tire. And now it should not impede. There we go. Ta-da, there. So now that's all good. You know, we have an ice cream truck going on right now. That guy doesn't look very centered. There. Okay, so now if you look at my truck, I also covered up the window. So that's what this little scrap of paper is for. And then on the inside of our truck, we have our little our little dude selling whatever. So he could be selling, or she could be selling, it could be selling, they could be selling, however you're wanting to go with that. Ice cream, tacos, donuts, however you want. So we're going to trim this up a little bit. I'm going to follow the lines right here. And you could, just to show you, there's a lot that kind of gets cut out, but then there's a lot that you still see. So you can decide how much you want to see or not see, right? So there's quite a bit that's still there. So I'm going to just trim. I'm going to leave the extra so it has room to stick. You don't want to make it exactly the same size or you're going to have a big problem. And I'm just going to just eyeball cutting around. And then I go back to here and go, okay, do I have enough to stick everything down? There we go. I want to see more of the little panda than I do of anything else. So there he is right there. It's okay if his little hat gets cut off. And then close that. Do I have any problems? Nope. All right, so then I'm going to come through with my paper trimmer and I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right there. And I'm going to lift this up so I don't get it in the way. A little adhesive right there, a little on the bottom, and a little right here next to the window. And I'm going to go ahead and do the adhesive around here because that's where I'm going to place this piece to go into the window. It's really sticky. I don't want to get my fingers caught. And then I'm going to open this back up again. I do that on here so I don't get my table all dirty, right? And then I place this little guy right in here to the height I want it to. That looks about right. And then just kind of stick it down. So there he is. He's in the window. And I changed up the colors, or she is, or it is, or they are, or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call the little panda. And then for here, I picked a darker color as a window. You could leave it open so it looks like it's looking through something. But I decided it needed something because as this was sitting on here, I mean, it would be fine. You could even put like a little bit of acetate to make it look like a window. I just went with cardstock. So I'm going to place this basically like this and then just trim off the bottom. Don't trim the other piece there. There we go. And if you want to add a little more adhesive down here, I mean, it's way bigger than I need it to be, but there we go. Oh, sorry, that was totally off camera. So I just placed a little piece of paper in there. So now it looks like it's got a window. You're not really, I mean, you kind of, if you really wanted to see the back of your card, you could, but that's not the point of this card. And if you chose to not do an easel card and just stick this whole thing down, then you would never know that we had all those little bits and pieces in there, right? Okay. So now to place this on here so it makes the easel. So we are going to add adhesive only to the bottom section. That's it, just the bottom. And our tires already have a little bit of adhesive when we ran it through the sticker maker, because if you apply it to the whole thing, it's not going to be able to pop up like this. So you really want to make sure that you only stick to the bottom. And I'm going to stick it so it's kind of going along the bumpy road. I want to see a little bit of that road. There we go. And you could do a sentiment down here as well if you wanted to. And then it just pops up. So that's the first way it could go. Clear all this out so you guys can really see. Or we can go even higher. Look at that. And so look how adorable. And then you open this up and it says order up. And then our little sentiment is on the inside, swinging by to say hello. And then for this one, I did hey buddy on the inside. Didn't add that, changed up the colors of our little panda here. I didn't change up the colors of the car except for the window and the bottom piece. I kind of like altered a few of the colors in here. And then open it up and it says sending you sweet birthday wishes. There are a ton of sentiments on the stamp set that you could do with this. So you have, hope you have an amazing day. Thank you all for all your hard work. Talk about job well done. So it really has a lot of different sentiments that you can use. And it pairs up really well with the die set that I used, which is the main truck. I forgot to put that back in here. It's the main truck, the window, the little bottom piece. My truck looks like it's sideways. Or maybe it's because I'm looking at this thing. I'm like, it's not on there straight. It's okay. You can even have your truck like go on an angle. I mean, you can have all kinds of fun with it. They are super sweet and adorable. And they're really fun for easel cards. I love the little interaction. So this has got a double interaction. It's got to lift the flap and it's got the easel. So cute. So adorable, fun, fun, fun. And if you're wondering where to write something, if you're going to do a sentiment, you could write right here. So there's plenty of space to write in there, or you can always write on the backs of your cards. So I do get asked that question quite a few times, like where would you actually write something? Where would you put that information in? So there it is. I love them and they're cute. They have like a couple of, I love interactive cards. I love cards that have a little something extra on them for you to do. And these fit the bill perfectly. So if you have any questions, we're kind of in our open section right now. If you have any questions or concerns, or not concerns, I don't know what concerns you have. But if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer. I'm looking at the comments right now. A couple of fun things happening. Tomorrow, I get the amazing honor of going down to a party. It's a crafty launch party about an hour away from where I live, down in New Braunfels. Laura Kelly has invited me to come to her launch party, and Ann Butler and Beth Watson are both there as well. And so I will hopefully be streaming live from that really cool event. We're at called Water to Wine. It's a restaurant. And we're going to be doing make and takes. And so I'll do what I can. I don't know depends on what kind of internet service I have. I got to charge my gimbal. So hopefully I can get that going and have all kinds of fun and do some live video footage, or I might record if the internet's bad. But that will be a video coming either live tomorrow or soon. And then Friday, I have another episode of Erin Makes With. This time I have iCrafter, which is Linda Canasi's company, and they have some really cool interactive dies. You guys know I love interactive cards. So they have some really cool interactive dies and tools and products. And so we'll be checking out all the fun things that she has on Friday. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys are having an amazing, we're already in summer. The kids are officially out of school. Yeah. Which means that I am trying to find my new sweet spot time. And I know I was at a funny time than I normally am at. Usually I go live at 5. But I'm trying to figure out what's a new good time for me to go live for these Card Making Wednesdays, because we no longer have school. So my aim is, I think, between 1 or 2 o'clock, because then I would be like set in stone once the kids go back to school. And I think 1 o'clock is a good time. Because that way, I'd be done with the live and be able to do pictures and everything, and then go pick up the kids from school or wait for them to ride their bikes home, or whatever we're doing that day. So that's my goal. Didn't quite happen today because I'm still not quite in the used to 5 o'clock, I think. I just got to change my gears up a little bit. But thank you guys again. Please stay safe. Go out there, just create. If you have any questions or anything, leave comments. I will get back to answering you. And I will hopefully see you live tomorrow, and definitely live on Friday. Gotta find my mouse. There it is.